I'm starting with or without you, just so you know. Okay, so, oh, cool, you wrote them down. So we have some cool broker previews today we're going to talk about. We have 424 Vista Parada. Is that the one that's in East Bluff? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sweet. I have a person. Okay, cool. I have a representative. Okay, tell me about it. Where's the mic? Where's the mic?
Okay. Well, we have the Dean Luke parade today, really. Yeah, check out all those. Look at those Dean Lukes. Okay, 424 Vista Parada. This is absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous home. The homes in the Bluffs were in like the 80s, and so if you see them, if they haven't been redone, they're pretty awful. And this one's been totally redone a couple years ago. This was actually my very first sale.
Oh,
this
wow.
was the buyer, and yeah. So when he hardly lived there, handful of times he was going to move from Scottsdale out here, and it turns out just his practice is better in Scottsdale, and now he can't write off a second home.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so life happened.
Life happens, you know, and so we're selling it.
Wow.
So market's gone up since then. This is actually the price that was originally priced at 2 years ago.
Okay.
So we're not super greedy. That's just, you know, market's gone up. So
okay,
yeah.
good, very good.
1.799.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that one is 1799. Oh, it does look very nice in there for East Bluff.
And Bamboo is also Laura's holding that one, or she's doing broker preview for that one today. It's a single story too. So it's
where's that one located?
That one's in East Bluff as well.
Okay.
And price point steps up a little bit. 2.25, I believe, is
2.295.
2.295. Well, if real estate's negotiable. You probably get it if you went at that price.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So that one's really, really beautiful, and that one's done pretty, nice. What's great about Vista Parada, if you have a lower price point, is that it's a main floor master. So if your clients can't do steps, they can walk in and basically live
very nice
on the main floor.
And then let's talk about the one that will give you free lunch. What are they
well, they're all free lunch.
Oh, they are all?
Well, I'm not sure if we're having something at Bamboo, but I'm having sun-dried tomato, and Perozzi should be in one of them. So I kind of say come to mine first for the, a little bit more appetizers, and then go fill up on meatballs. The other one.
Awesome. So, what's that 17 Coral Ridge?
Oh my gosh.
I have meatballs. You have meatballs? Okay, so you have meatballs.
Laura's got meatballs. So then, yeah. So
what do we have at 17 Coral Ridge? Because he was doing something really cool.
Something else at 17 Coral Ridge is make that your third course.
Yeah, make that your third course.
Hit
so
me,
it's sort of like
Laura,
a progressive brokers open. Have you ever guys had those in your neighborhoods? So I have been in 17 Coral Ridge.
Yes.
It is. So it kind of reminded me of like walking into my own house. I have my own little, we're good. So walking into my own house because of the way, the decor, everything's like really beachy and white, and it's really exquisite. I love it.
Imported from Paris.
Yeah.
And a few pieces from Italy, but mostly it's a Parisian dream.
Yeah. I love how you say these things. Okay. So very, very beautiful. I would definitely take a look at that today. It's in Newport Coast. And I always liked going to those when I was in sales. I always liked going into those different homes too, because it also is very motivating, very inspiring, because you want to, it helps you with what kind of clientele you want. So we're going to do some contests. And then Susie down in Dana Point has 4.8 million in Magellan. And I think that's over in, is that Nagel Shores? Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the ocean side. Okay, so it kind of borders like a little bit looking to go. Okay, cool. So if you guys have time to go down there, if you can prove you went to all four, there will be bonuses for you. So again, like last week, what I want you guys to do, and there's all different kinds of things that you guys will be awarded and you can get to choose from, nice fun things out, is I want you guys to take either a video or a photo, and you need to tag me on Facebook. Okay, or Instagram if you're not on Facebook. Who is not on Facebook? Okay, then no excuse.
Well,
who's not my friend on Facebook? I will delete someone today. I will delete someone, even if it's their birthday. I will do it. That's actually how I delete people if their birthday and I realize I don't know them, because it's easy to look them up. So yeah, so tag me on Facebook on that, and go to as many as possible. It shows support, but also says a lot about us. There's a lot of reasons I do this because you're doing it. I want you guys to do this because it's going to help you attract buyers and sellers at these price points in these areas. It helps me attract agents in these areas and these price points. Does that make sense? Because if my agents are doing well, they're looking well, and these are our broker previews. So this is a win-win, and we're helping each other. I help you, you help me, okay? Sound good?
Could we add to the contest that they actually have to post their video on facebook.com/First Team Newport Beach?
Do we have access to that page yet?
We do.
We do.
Yes.
You have access.
I finally got access.
Perfect.
It took
someone does. Like, it was like this big mystery. Yeah, so extra bonuses for that too.
So yeah, so to me it's like we do have our Facebook Newport Beach First Team page.
Can we invite everyone to
We can, and
let's send an email out where it's like a link or something.
the only posts so far that have been there were like from 8 months ago or corporate or the home office. So we are working at getting us as a group to actually use that more effectively.
Did you guys ever think you were forgotten about, like a little island over here? Because we're discovering things. We're like, where is it? Where did it go? So it's okay. We're getting to the bottom of it. It's all good. Thank God. Any questions on these, or anyone want to say anything about the broker previews? Really cool.
I would
That's
just say
really cool that
mine
we're
first.
representing here.
Appetizers with me, meatballs with Laura, and then go down to
Dean.
Dean Luke. You know, and the Shake Shack's right there,
Yeah.
just down the way, so you can grab a shake on your way home.
Yeah, there
Load
is a
up.
Shake Shack.
A big
Yeah.
day of eating.
Yeah.
I like it. Eating in pretty homes. You know?
Yes, and don't forget to like say something about the property or say something your favorite thing. And I'm going to tell you, like, Dean was overwhelmed and very happy. Even though some people don't express it, just the support was really appreciated. And if you don't know him very well, he's always willing to support you. And he does not care if you advertise it. He does not care who sells it, nothing. And I ask him, I'm like, hey, can we run with this? Can I do this? And he knows. I'm totally upfront about it. I'm like, dude, I'm going to use this and as product. And he's like, go for it. He doesn't care. He just wants to get it done. Yeah. So cool. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, needs and wants. While we're already talking about broker previews and you guys are out there looking at the product, I want to know if anyone has a need, has a listing coming up, or wants to talk about a listing.
Okay. I have a couple wants. I have some really nice first timers. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get back up. They have a baby budget. They remind me of myself, but baby budget. So 365,
So what is baby? Are they
370.
having a baby, or they have a small budget?
A small budget.
Okay.
It's a baby budget. No, yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
So,
Sometimes people have a baby budget. Like, I'm having a baby from a baby budget. Okay,
no,
got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
You must define.
Sorry. Smaller budget, 365. They're just wanting 2 parking spaces and 2 bedrooms. Pretty much anywhere.
2 parking.
And they're
what's
open
the
to
price?
anywhere. 365,
Oh,
370.
365. So 2 parking spaces and 2 bedrooms.
Spaces, 2 bedrooms.
And what area of Orange County?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
They're very open. I mean, we're looking everywhere.
Alex,
I know. I was
got
like,
that.
we've
Lake
been
Forest.
trying to
Go
work
get
up
it.
a deal.
you got that.
But you know what? He raised the price point on me, and I'm just. I know it is okay.
I know you and
2
Yvonne can
bedrooms.
find that.
I mean,
though.
we just
You
went
have
down to Santa Ana.
Okay, well, find one that's a tiny bit lower. Tiny bit lower.
Tiny bit.
lower. You
I mean,
got
it
this.
can need work. It doesn't have to be done.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have to be done. Also, North Tustin, 4 bedrooms, minimum, must have pool. Cosmetic work is okay, but we're really needing to find something soon.
Okay, so Tustin, 4 bedrooms.
North Tustin.
With North Tustin.
Oh, let's see. Probably keep it under 1.6.
That should be doable.
I mean, I've looked at everything that's out there right now, and yeah, I do. I need a pocket.
So North
Call your
Tustin,
people.
up to 1.6.
They're open to one-party shows. If you have that person that you're like, well, I don't know if they might, call them. It's a reason to call. So, Yeah.
So she has the product. Remember, she has the buyer. Just go find the listing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're so smart. I'm glad I came.
You're so funny.
I missed you guys last
Oh,
week.
there's a spider. Okay, we now know what I do not like. There's a spider on there. Spider.
Here. Hold this. I'm gonna go let him free.
So, oh, she's so kind. I'm so not. Okay, so I would have killed that thing. Yeah. So just so you know that I am I attract spiders. I don't know why, but I will, like, if you hear me scream, like, people around me are like, is there a spider in there? So it usually is. Oh my God, but you guys missed it. You missed it. It was on a Sunday. Okay, so who else has a need? Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know. Go up front. Yeah.
I know. He's like, oh.
Hi.
Thank you.
So there is a person in another office, but it's with our company. And I was just told last night, she put it up 2 days ago. It's $1,125,000 and it's in Newport. In Harbor Beach, in Huntington Beach. Sorry, and she's having her first open house today.
Okay, 125,
Yes.
Huntington Beach. Okay, and
it was all redone. She redid the whole entire house.
awesome. What's the price? Oh, 125.
A
What?
million-
How many is in? How many bedrooms?
I think it's 3 and 2.
3 and 2. Okay. So if you guys have a buyer, Huntington.
I do.
and she would probably take $1 million. I mean, and she's motivated, and I'm going over there to bring her some things. You know, it's like a little gift. You know, like some food and things for her to put out. So, I'll get it to you.
Awesome.
I just got it last night from her.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike.
So this is the listing I've talked about for the last couple of weeks. It's actually going on broker preview tomorrow, and it'll be open house all weekend. Its address is 1810 Tanager Drive in Costa Mesa, or the Mesa Verde part of Costa Mesa, west side. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. 2 bedrooms are downstairs. One of them's especially large downstairs. It's really nice. It's staged, looks beautiful. Great place to bring your clients. Like I said, it's $1,250,000, 3-car garage. No HOAs, great neighborhood. It's a house away from the Costa Mesa golf course. Great house. So come on by.
Mike now has the O'Brien farm. Really? It's actually a really funny story. So when we were we were doing one of our coaching sessions, and I talked to people about, like, this one agent did the O'Brien farm, and you kind of accidentally ran into this, and, like, he's now attracting all of these listings in his neighborhood.
Yeah, the story to go a
Yeah,
little bit,
go tell the
into
story.
a little bit. So this is in my neighborhood, and I've lived in the neighborhood for 22 years, so I know most of the people. Used to walk my dogs and all that stuff. And when I got this listing, which I've been working on for a while, I started seeing other neighbors and kind of already saying, hey, in 2 weeks I'm going to be having an open house, you need to come by. And so I started getting people saying, oh, can you come in and take a look? We're thinking of selling. What should I do? Should I paint the cabinets? Da, da, da. So I also had talked with the letter carrier in the neighborhood, who I know, and she had said, oh, the O'Briens are thinking of moving. And a little aside, so I, of course, went on to MLS and started looking at all the neighbors' houses, and I'm like, who are the O'Briens? Because the name didn't ring a bell, and they said on this particular street, and couldn't find the O'Briens. I'm like, gosh darn, what the heck? And then I was coming out of the house that I was invited in to look at the cabinets, and I saw another neighbor, and I just talked with her and inviting her, and she said, oh, my neighbors, the O'Briens are thinking of moving. And so she's divorced, so O'Brien's was her, she went back to her maiden name or something, so on the records it shows her maiden name, and that's why I couldn't find it. Anyway.
Well, and you had give someone the book or something like that, or?
This was the one I was talking to about the
Zen and Art of Happiness, yeah.
Right. So I was talking with her about that book, and I was going to drop it off. And
So what I was trying to tell him, I go, that was your sign, honey. I go, because I go, the universe is always working for you and telling you things and dropping these signs. And he always talked about wanting to take over his neighborhood where he lived. So he lived all those years for the farm. And I was like, oh, it was telling you that this is your farm by telling you the O'Briens, right?
That
And
was
so
pretty funny.
you can always call it the O'Brien. The O'Brien farm is actually his neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so it's, I go, that was your sign. So really cool. Because now you have 3 about to go, you think?
3.
Working on 3.
Yep.
Yeah, within a few weeks.
So far.
Yeah, within a few weeks. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So really, really cool story. Isn't that a cool story? Yeah. And I was like, did you not? He's like, oh my God. I'm like, did you not see the message? I go, that was a message. Yeah. I will get you guys. You'll be like, oh my God. You'll start freaking out. You're like, Robin did that Judo Jedi stuff on me. Okay. So, yeah, I was waiting until I start lighting incense and doing sage in the office. What else? Any other needs and wants going on here? Hi. Adam, come on up, darling. Woo-hoo. Adam signed a buyer broker the other night.
Yeah, a couple nights ago.
Went for it.
So I'm working.
Yeah, now you're married. It's a relationship.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm working with two people. They're interested in buying the same property, but they're in the 400 to 500 range, and they're looking for two, preferably a 3-bedroom, either townhouse or single family, with 2 assigned parking spots. It doesn't have to be a garage or anything, but there has to be 2 assigned parking, and a patio large enough for a Siberian Husky. So and it's in the outskirts of Irvine area, so like Tustin, Santa Ana, Anaheim, Orange area. Nothing south of Irvine Spectrum, but not Irvine itself. So kind of like South Coast and north, but not north of the 91 area.
Awesome.
And that's what we're looking for.
And we're all going to help him get this buyer a house, aren't we?
Thank you.
Yeah, because he shows up every freaking day. I love it. I love it. And thank you, Alex, didn't you help coach him on that and tell him to follow up and get that appointment? You're very consistent.
Well, yeah, I got some help from a few people, a lot of people.
Right?
So.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
Anywhere between 400 and 500. Oh, and it has to be VA loan approved. It has to be a VA approved con. So that's quite the sticking point. So that's a tough find. It's
Yeah.
doable.
And make sure when you're doing the VA things that you actually use it as a positive and not like, oh, it needs to be VA. Because it worked. It pulled on my heartstrings once for I had a listing and someone's like, I'm trying to get this veteran at home. I was like, oh. I was going to make it work, right? I was like, because use it to your advantage. Hey, I got this veteran wants to buy a home. They're going to use their veteran loan or their VA loan. It's a really cool thing. And people actually do want to help veterans, 100%. They want to help everyone. They really do. But when you tell them that, a seller may pick theirs over another and even take less of a price to help them get into a home. I've had several sellers do that. And, Yeah, exactly. It does. Yeah, it's a tribe. It's a tribe. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very cool. My dad's 80, and he still they still send Christmas cards and talk to people that was in his what do you guys call it?
Unit?
Yeah, unit. Okay, yeah. I was a Girl Scout. We call it a troop, right? It was in my troop, right? Yeah.
We could call it a troop too.
I'll call it a troop. Yeah.
We can call it a troop.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, cool. Thank you. Anyone else with a need or want?
Right over here.
Right here. Awesome.
Well, first things first, Adam, congrats on the buyer getting under contract.
Yes.
That's
Woo-hoo!
awesome. Great
Love
news. There's one buyer that Pearl and I have that we would like to pitch. They're looking in the sub 2 million range, so 1.5 to 2 mil is really their sweet spot. A few specifics with this one though. The wife would like to be 15 minutes from South Coast for obvious reasons. The husband works in the finance industry. He's kind of right around Irvine, so they're looking in like North Tustin would be a primary area they're looking in. Also, they're willing to go as far south as Costa de Caza and really anywhere, Newport Beach,
okay.
East Side Costa Mesa. A few specifics though, single story would be a plus, and then if it is 2-story, it would have to have a main floor master, and the laundry being on the same floor as that master. So that's a couple specifics. They would like something move-in ready, and their timeline is fairly urgent as they're looking to open escrow by the end of the month and move in by the end of May.
In May. Okay.
Yeah.
1.5 to 2 within 15 minutes of.
Yeah, pool
Okay.
too.
So
Yeah.
the tool road really helps too. Yeah. Yeah.
St. James Place. Okay, I think we might have seen that one. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And that's single story? Single story or single story? Cool. What's the price point on that? 1.2? Very good. We'll check it out. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Anyone else
Cool.
have something that you think would be a good fit? Maybe coming up soon?
Anything?
Well, let us know. What was that? Yeah, probably in this price point, probably like 3 to 4 bedroom. Yeah. Should be able to get 4 bedrooms in this price point, but they want the master, and they want, an office, and they want, 1 guest room or 2 guest room if they can.
Got it. Okay. My wheels are churning. I'm thinking. I'm like, okay.
There's one on Arroyo. That's it's right next to a school. Do they have kids? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Look at the St. James. That one. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Cerise. I just want to say for those of you looking in North Tustin, when you look in the MLS, be sure to check Santa Ana because
Oh, right. Santa Ana
because
Heights
the listing
and
agents
Yeah.
will hide or by ignorance hide listings in Santa Ana. Of course, they want to double them, but they'll put them in Santa Ana. So and look under Tustin for those who don't know what they're
Right.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
92705 is truly North Tustin.
And I have had,
Incorporated.
just so you guys
But,
know,
yeah.
some of them that are like really kind of technically North Tustin, it'll be like across the street.
Yeah.
However, the title has it as Santa Ana, and it'll auto-populate.
Yeah.
Because I actually tried at a high-end one once, and I physically inputted it North Tustin, and someone told on me, and so they switched it to Santa Ana. I was like, oh, because I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
And so,
So funny.
definitely look Santa Ana too. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's really
Yes.
annoying. They need to adopt that. Uh-huh. Right. Do you like within exactly? Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any needs and wants?
I've got one more.
Okay.
Anywhere in Newport, preferably actually really anywhere in Newport. Single story, 1.2 or under. It's open to cosmetic stuff, but anything more than cosmetic, we'd have to get, I'm not open to it, so send it my way. But yeah, that's all.
So 1.2.
1.2
in Newport.
in Newport. I mean, it can be 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, preferably, but they're pretty open. And they've seen
1.2.
everything that's on the market, and they're wanting something fresh and new, like different that's been on the market, not new.
Okay, yeah, because they won't get
No.
that. for
It can be
1.2.
it can be old.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
Hi.
Awesome. Anything else?
Robin. I'm behind you. I'm sorry.
Hi. Come over here.
I'm hiding behind.
I'm gonna get you over here. Yeah, let's get
Hiding
you
behind the
uncomfortable. Let's do this.
Yeah, anybody that's looking for something in North Tustin.
Time out. Did you go to the eye doctor?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Just
Thank
making
you.
sure.
Okay. I'll do a dance for you now. Yeah, so anybody looking in North Tustin or Tustin, I have a friend that's with First Team. His name is Doug Campbell. You might want to check with him. He actually has, we were talking, I think it's a 4-bedroom fixer, and it would be in your price range, I believe. The other thing is I have a pocket. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo in Newport Beach. It's a few blocks to the beach. We're kind of waiting to put it on because there's going to be some other new inventory that'll help the comps.
Got you.
But we're asking around $1.5 million.
Okay.
So I can show it if you happen to have someone. It actually comes turnkey furnished.
Okay.
Also, my house is still available for $1,797,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house in a guest house. It does have short-term rental permits, about $85,000 in gross income. And we had offers, and the person that did submit an offer is getting ready to fly back out here to see the property. She was going to make it sight unseen. So if you have someone, it's still available. It's about a half a block to the ocean front on 27th Street, 12427.
Can you email us photos or email Ali photos? She can
Sure.
send it out.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, it's, hey, it's a low cap rate, but it's about, the gross income's around 85. It could probably go 95 maybe, because one of the months that I had a long-term tenant move out. So I had about a third to a quarter of the income that I would have had 1 or 2 months. in the summer. So no. I went through professional rental companies on the peninsula, which require
Yeah.
that you have a short-term rental permit.
Yeah.
Be careful of Airbnbs, because the one that I did show, I did call the agent. She misled me, which I've never had that happen. She was an out-of-area agent, and I talked to the owner of a company down there, and she said, "Oh, I know the property." And I wouldn't have told her, because I was trying to show her property off the market, and she said, "Oh no," she said, "that property was sanctioned by the city last year, and I had the listing, and I wouldn't
my
take it."
goodness.
So be careful about, disclosing that. Make sure they have permits.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, maybe for like with clients or whatever, she'll take it from you. With because I used to have a beach rental down on the peninsula, and it is best to go with. There's usually I don't know how many there are now, but there were like 2 or 3 that specialized in just that, and down in Newport with the vacation rentals, and they have the sites and everything, and it's a percentage. You kind of pay a hotel tax, and I think we paid like 13% in the summer, and then 8.5% in the winter. But it was like literally the summer took care of the entire year mortgage and everything. It was ridiculous. Yeah, for 1 week it was like $3,500, and this is back in like 2002 or 2004, I think. So they do rent out pretty good, but you want to use the people that specialize in that area and they have the clientele, because it's usually repeat people. The only week I did not rent mine out was 4th of July, because I wanted the house to still be there the following week, So yeah. So real quick before I bring Jenna up, I just want to let you know the ski team's not here right now. They will be here later today. But one of the reasons they're not here is they're at, I don't know if they're okay with me sharing, but I'm going to, because I want you guys to get good vibes out there. They're at the doctor with his wife, going over a bunch of cardiology tests that they had for her this week. So if you guys can just keep them in your mind, in your thoughts and prayers and good vibes, and maybe reach out to them and see how they're doing. So good. So I'll find out later today how they're doing, but I'm sure that could make them all nervous, but they were going with it as a family. So so just want to let you guys know that. Also, come on up, Jenna. Woohoo!
Nothing really fun today. The only thing I wanted to talk about was boring property taxes. Those are due April 10th. So if you guys got any clients, it's a good tool to just use to reach out to your clients and kind of remind them that they're due. A lot of people that we see that have their house in escrow or listed, they have so much stuff on their mind, they forget to pay them. If they're in escrow right now, they are still due. Escrow or title does not pay them until they're closed. So the seller's still responsible for paying those property taxes while they're going through under contract right now. The best way for your clients to pay them, as you guys all know, is to go on you can literally type in Google Orange County Tax Collector. You don't even have to know the website name. It'll be the first link. And Orange County is awesome. You can search by the property address. So you don't even have to know the parcel number. And they can pay online with debit card or actually credit card now, I was actually informed. So it's a good tool to reach out to your clients just to remind them, hey, they're due. I see it all the time that they think, oh, I thought escrow was paying that, this or that. So again, April 10th, or the penalty fees assessed afterwards. If your clients are in a position where they don't have the money, and that's some of the reason why they're selling, if they don't make the payment, we'll just pay it through escrow and the penalty will be assessed at that point. But I hate for people sometimes to spend an extra $300 to $600 just because they forgot. So it's a good tool. If you guys kind of don't know what I'm talking about, or like, I don't know if my client paid it, just come see me. We can look online, or you can look online yourself and see if they've paid them or not. But April 10th.
And this is a really great, tool for you to call your clients, and you can make fun with it and just say, hey, I'm calling with I'm not calling with a yummy call today. I want to remind you, not only, are your real taxes due on the 15th, but your property taxes for extra fun are due on the 10th. I was wondering, do you have your taxes, are they impounded with your mortgage if they have a mortgage? And then the lender will pay it. However, if it's not, please go to this site. You can also email it to them if they don't pick up the phone. So you really want to make sure you make that call. Another thing, you can use this in September when they're done again, is if I were doing an escrow right now and it was supposed to close right around the 10th.
Yeah, that's where you really got to have the conversation.
Yeah, and your owner wanted to pay it through escrow, I would have had in my counter, if this property does not close by the 9th, the buyer will pay the penalty on the taxes. Yeah, so kind of like a per diem. I would do that in September. Since you can't really do it now, I would do it in September. That's another thing you can write in just to cover your, if they didn't want to come out. A lot of people sell because they don't have the money, all right? And it's all tied up in the house. So just another thing to put out there. It makes you a stronger agent. That
Yeah,
makes
and if you
sense?
guys are in a tricky situation where you guys like we're supposed to close the 8th and it's getting extended out, or you see that happening, those are the ones that tend to fall through the crack, and title will collect that money on the 9th and 10th for the penalty. And then the next tax bill doesn't come out till November, delinquent like December 9th or 10th over
Yeah.
there, so they don't have to worry again till then.
Yeah, December 10th. They say they're due in September, but not till December 10th. But when you're doing your contracts, you want to make sure like around September time.
And they could probably write in the extension if they extend it out in escrow. You guys can maybe add in that they have to pay the penalty if you're
Yeah,
extending
sure,
it.
we'll extend it. You pay this. That kind of thing. That could
That's
be.
it. Any questions, just come see me or shoot me a text or call me.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go over a couple of things. One, I want to ask you. I did something cool, actually. I wanted to ask you, what did you guys learn? What have you guys learned in the last week? And what did you learn from Greg's class? Or if you went to Joe's class yesterday. And then Greg, when was your class? What day is it? Tuesday? Was it? Tuesday. Okay, we're Thursday. Yeah, so what did you learn? Share with people that maybe weren't there, or if you want to just give your aha. Right, yeah. Let's get you real uncomfortable. Yummy.
Good morning, everyone. So I actually loved this week. It started with Greg's, and it was a perfect extension at the luxury series. And the reason is because as I'm starting in Orange County and trying to build a business, I'm really trying to figure out how to differentiate myself. And you're always taught, like, you know, you have to have a brand and you have to figure it out. And I kept thinking, okay, so what do I want my brand to be? And after Greg's class, it was like I had this aha. My brand is me, and the authenticity is in my story. And there's no one else who's going to have my story, and that's what makes me unique. So really this week I've been diving into, you know, how can I use my own story to really appeal to people that has nothing to do with real estate. And that's especially important considering my experience in real estate is pretty limited. So I'm just really excited about it. I felt like invigorated, and then I felt like the universe was speaking to me again about it with Joe's talk, which was amazing. So, I mean, it's just invaluable to me.
Cool, awesome, thank you. Anyone else want to share?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I've been in business for 23 years, lots of experience with branding. At one point, my wife and I spent about $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month just in billboard advertising, just a little brag there. But so when the class came up about branding, I thought, well, I know a lot about branding. I've been doing it for over 20 years. So what can I learn? So I still went to it, and just want to let you know, it just blew away my mind. The amount of information I learned from Greg. Awesome class. It just completely went the other direction than I was thinking how I should be branding, and which all the realtors do the same thing. So if you missed it, make sure either watch the video or come to the next one. That when I don't know if he's offering another one or not. It was an excellent class. So I learned a lot, and right after that, I went to the top floor, talked to the marketing people there about how to rebrand everything I was doing. So
Took action, I love it. And you're still only getting like this much. That's great, so awesome. You guys have no idea how yummy. Who else? Anyone else want to share? Anyone else not want to share and going to share? So, I know, right?
I loved the examples. I love the examples that Greg used of really successful companies, you know, Rolex and the Budweiser commercial, and really studying those and realizing that they say absolutely nothing about their product, and how even if we're not completely branded yet, or you know, or working on that or whatever, we can really use that in our business, and like in the thank you notes and sending a lottery ticket, and it has nothing to do with real estate, but it's just you know, not pitching people all the time, and I really relate with that because I hate pitching people. So I thought that class was phenomenal. I loved it.
It's going to connect, and the thing is that where people go wrong in this business and with every business is they want I don't know if it was Mike that said it or one time, not you, Mike. There, Mike. You. I don't know if you said it one time or somebody else. I can't remember. Where maybe it was you. I can't remember who said it. They wanted to attract everyone, right? And they're like, how do I attract everyone? And you don't. And you don't want to either, right? So your story will attract the people that you want to work with. And with Christina talking about, no one will have your story. However, there will be pieces of it that people will relate to. And they'll want to work with you because they feel that connection. So not only own your greatness that got you, and when I talk about, like, we all have our story, we all have our crap, and it's not, oh, poor me. It's in spite of this, I got here, right? In spite of, not, oh, because of, right? It's in spite of this, I got here. So not only, embrace your greatness, but embrace your weird, okay? So embrace your differences and all of that. And, because I'm kind of crazy about my football team and stuff like that, and everyone knows that about me. So I'm going to attract other football people. I'm going to attract other Big Ten people. Kind of crazy about a certain breed of dog. I'm going to attract those people, that kind of thing. But those are the people I want to attract because I have a connection with them too, and they'll understand, right? They will totally understand. And it's really weird. I did have recently, maybe a year ago, a buyer, because they looked me up on Facebook and they saw my dog and they were breeders of that breed. And they're like, we want to work with you. It's just like, but they, because they're like, I would understand them and the issues with their dogs and stuff. So it was really, really interesting. What else have you guys learned? It doesn't have to be in those classes, but anything you learned new this week that you want to share in the last week?
I learned two things, actually. I learned a lot from a lot of people, but I want to thank Jason and Alex and Yvonne. Within the past few days, they both took time out of their days to bring me into their office and say, I want to teach you something. And this is right before my buyer appointment. Jason taught me all about system and how the system works and to go through a system and how to show value through using the system. And then Alex and Yvonne actually showed me how to put that system together so it impresses the buyer. Alex and Yvonne showed me this buyer book where I made this really professional looking book, and it was tabbed with sections of market trends, comparative market analysis of the properties that they were looking for, risk management that has the paperwork in it, and then services. So these are the services that we're going to be using as you go through the entire process. And as I was sitting there going through the system, and I used the book as a guide, I really felt that it showed a lot of value for me as an agent while they were talking about properties that they found themselves. It took the property searching piece out of my job and created the value piece of my job and why they needed to hire me as their agent to go through this process with them. So I want to thank Jason, Alex, and Yvonne for their time the past couple of days, because I learned a lot of mechanics in this business, just in that alone. So that was great. Thank you, guys.
Love it. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to go another step on.
I just want to.
You go. I love you. Yeah.
This will make more sense at the end because we're going to give you a little gratitude challenge, and Adam did such a great job. And so, the 3 keys to sharing gratitude are: 1, tells people specifically what they did. And Adam did a wonderful job of doing that. Here's what people did. Here's what I learned. So I want to congratulate you. The next thing I want you to do is, when they shared that with you, how did you feel?
Confident. Confident and going to my appointment. And then just grateful that we have a team here. We have a team. Like, people want to see people succeed. People want to build each other up. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first came into this business, I was hearing stories like, oh, it's every man for themselves, and it's really cutthroat, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, and it's just be prepared for that. But the moment I walked through those doors and I met Jennifer and I came to the first office meeting, I started to see that really wasn't the case. And so I stayed on board and I stuck with it. And ever since I've been here, it's been a family here. It's been such a team effort. So you just feel that sense of camaraderie. people are willing to share years of knowledge, years of experience and successes, with me. And I just felt so appreciative, felt so confident and motivated. And I can't wait to pay it forward to the next new batch of agents that are coming through behind me, and to, pass that knowledge along. It's really how I feel.
And by the way, that's on you guys, because that's awesome, and you guys created that, because it's not really like that in every office. It is in most offices. Every man for himself. Don't look at my stuff. I'm not helping you. Don't talk to me. That kind of thing. It's how I ended up in this position. Is that the agents all went to management at one company one day and said, "What about her? She's always willing to help." And I was the only one there all the time willing to help, and it was just so uncommon. And so it's not uncommon here, so I'm very grateful for that.
Even Sean Jarney, who we hardly ever see, has been extremely helpful since day one I've been here. He's been great. Lisa was one of the best accountability partners. She was on it every single day. I think I've had a conversation with just about everybody here about real estate, about life, and about how to be successful in real estate and how to be successful in life. It's been amazing.
Love it.
All right, so you covered what specifically they did, how you felt. Now, the last part is telling the person what need of yours was met by what they did. And this is maybe a little harder to get in touch with, but just take for a minute and think, what need was met by their sharing their knowledge and information with you?
Mechanics. So one of my hobbies is I love to work on cars, and I understand cars very well. I love to turn a wrench. I love to get dirty. And so when I think about this business, a lot of the knowledge or a lot of the guidance is based on the theoretical approach and in theory and concepts, and it's really conceptual. And I think what I learned the past few days are how tools actually work and what tools to use, because you can go into a car and a half inch isn't going to work on a 3/4 drive. You need a specific wrench or a specific size tool for a specific job to work on a car. So that's how my brain kind of works. Like, what tools are out there? I love sports and I love baseball and I love fundamentals and mechanics. And if you notice, the best teams are the most fundamentally sound teams. Can you catch? Can you throw? What tools do you have in your pocket that will help you be successful? And so that's one of the needs that I felt that I really needed to be successful, because I understand the theory. I'm motivated. I'm confident. I'm determined. I'm not going to give up. I got all of that. But how do I catch? How do I throw? How do I hit? What wrench do I choose? What screwdriver do I need? What drill bit do I need?
By the way, I can tell that your confidence is built up, because did you notice before he used to kind of hide back there? Yeah.
I still kind of, yeah.
All right, so
now that you have breakfast there,
you guys still aren't done. So keep standing up. Okay. So
talk faster. We got time. I'm on a schedule. It's time clock.
So you're going into this, and you're still at the specific level, and I really want you to get in touch with the need level. You had a need for learning specifics. What need of yours at a human level was met by that?
Teamwork.
So teamwork's not really a need? So what is a need? How do you describe teamwork in terms of a need?
Well, okay, so let me
What's
describe.
your love language?
Oh, physical touch.
Okay, what's your second one?
Oh, I forgot.
Let's not hashtag me too, the office here. So what's your second love language?
That's good. I think it was
quality time.
Yeah, it was quality time. Then it was appreciation.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Yeah. I know the last one was gift giving. I wasn't into the gift giving thing.
So
but the quality time, words of affirmation.
It may not be the need, but I'm helping you along with what I think Greg's trying to pull out of you is what need it gave you. One, they gave you their time, and quality time, and time is important to you.
Definitely.
And so it fed a need. That's why we have to
Yeah.
get to know ourselves, so we know what needs people are feeding us and what needs we're not getting that we need to get somewhere else. Does that make sense? Is that what you were looking for?
Well, and I think that really, if you think about it, we only have a few core needs, and what you really are expressing is a need for support
Yes.
and understanding what actions you need to take. And here's what I found. If when you share a gratitude, you share all three components, the impact you have on the person you're sharing gratitude with will be dramatically stronger. And it'll also keep you in touch with how to be more gracious in everything you do. So back to your schedule.
You're so cute. I know, I'm so anal. So, but one of the things is when you go to the love language, and one day when you get that far, if you're able to say that, because sometimes it gets a little awkward, and knowing that love language, quality time, in the end, all we all want to feel is loved, and it made you feel loved as well because you got the quality time and the support. Does that make sense?
Definitely. It makes
Okay.
a lot of sense for
Yeah.
sure.
So, and when you get there, like, you made me feel loved because that's what I need. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for making him feel loved. That was really cool of you. So, okay. And then I want also about what did you learn. So I'm going to do something new but only share what you are willing to share. I want you guys to get to know each other. So I want 3 people to tell me something about yourself that we may not know. Go ahead, Mike. Oh my God, you were so funny.
3 things. I think most people know, but I've got 4 adopted children. I've got 4 Labradors.
You have a thing with 4s. We need one more listing to make it 4 in your neighborhood.
So do I have
Let's
to
do
come up
that.
with 4 ideas now?
No.
Good. What else?
So 4 kids, 4 Labradors. What's something that you think they may not know?
I don't know. I can't think of anything. I get nervous up these things.
Just something like one of your weird things or whatever.
Weird things. Well, you know this because I don't let go of things easily. That's one thing.
We work on it.
Working on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have my first car that I bought when I was 22. I still have it.
Yeah.
How's that? It's a little
Yeah.
914 Porsche. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. They did not know that about you. He still has his car. Yeah. That's a little. Yeah. That's now that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You still have the car from that. So it obviously means something to you, and eventually in one of our coaching sessions we'll find out. So who else wants to share something? Go ahead, Lisa. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I've lived here all my life since 1962. I am adopted, and and I used to sing and dance with Liberace.
I did not know that either. Are you being totally serious?
I know nobody knows who Liberace is, but yeah,
I know who Liberace is.
You don't sing it?
Yes. Right? Oh, yes. Of course I know who Liberace is.
Is that right? See? And I didn't know that. And all those gals thought he was straight, but that's okay.
That's actually a really cool thing. If you don't know who Liberace is, he's kind of a big deal. So yeah, that's really cool. Very cool. Okay, one more. Go ahead. Oh, right, the 2 glasses. Yeah, right.
I don't have anything exciting like that. Shoot. Let's see. I've been married for 29 years, so that's pretty exciting. I have 2 kids and a dog. Something that you may not know about me that not a lot of people do, which isn't very fun, but I was in Las Vegas for the mass shooting, and I survived. So that's something that's very dear to my heart right now. So it's also, that actually has pushed me to be a better person and just be the best that I can be. So that's something that I don't let everybody know, but something that's kind of defined me a little bit. So.
Very cool. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing. And the reason we share things about this is you never know when you might meet somebody that is adopted that may need to talk to somebody else that's adopted or having trouble with their, someone else that was at a shooting or dealt with a shooting or something. And they're like, you know what, let me ask my friend or an agent at my office about this and how maybe you guys can share. Does that make sense? Right? So these things are like really important. Or you might meet someone that has a car for 30 years and be like, you two may be friends. Like, you guys should be friends, that kind of thing. So I obsessively wash clothes. I'm that, I can't, I'm that person. Yeah, so it's like a weird thing about me. Every morning I have a load of clothes in the washer. What? No, I don't finish it. I throw them in the washer. I call my assistant. I'm like, there's clothes in the washer. Yeah, and by the time I get home, they're where they should be. And yeah, but I'm obsessive. Like if a pants touch a seat or something, they are now dirty. I'm a weird thing. Yeah, it's super weird. So every day it's super weird. So one of those weird things about me. And Greg, anything weird about you want to share? This is how we get to know each other. Yeah. And by the way, something weird about everyone that used to work for him, if you notice, so keep track of it when he does his seminars or when he does his trainings, he'll go, people say Greg. Well, they made a drinking game out of it. And every time he said people say Greg, they took a drink. So he didn't know. He didn't know until last year when I told him that they did this for years. Yeah.
So one of the weird things about me is that I say, people say Greg.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I've been coaching for so long and people always ask me Greg, and I now repeat that. So probably one of the things that is strangest about me that most people don't guess is that I am incredibly shy. I'm actually a severe introvert. On an introversion-extroversion scale, I score about a 12 naturally. So it's been a lot of work to actually be social. So one thing is, if I'm not social, don't worry, it's not you, it's me. So, but that's probably one of the weirder things about me that doesn't seem to fit with being a public speaker and a trainer for, 35 years. So. And
it's actually very common with a lot of speakers. And I know this about Greg, and when I had him first do an assessment, the DISC assessment, which I have all you guys do, he's a 99D. He's very high D and he's very high driven. Because obviously I always look for who would be a great yin to my yang, right? And his I is very low. Or I don't know how low it is, but it was very, you wouldn't think that his I would be low because because I'm a 99D and a 99I, right? And it's normal. But it works well because he's able to he's so driven to get everything ready for me so that I can just go be me, right? And it's a very good yin to the yang. Sometimes some people feel more comfortable on a stage speaking than they do in the crowd. So it's very, very common. Like Tony Robbins is actually probably more of an introvert than an extrovert. And you don't even realize it. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, so thank you for sharing. Now you know. And he did, whenever he had these big seminars with thousands of people and there would be like a meet and greet, he had a counterpart that was more the social one. And they would have these big meet and greets after, and he would stay for like a hot minute. And he would be out of there. Like he was not, and he was not the social one. So, and knowing about him, you accept people for who they are, and that's who they are, right? And they're perfect. So tracking your numbers. I'm going to say something I learned, and I want to tell you about something real quick, and then we're almost done. I got this letter in the mail 2 days ago, and you guys will eventually get this homework, but I'm going to make sure you do it correctly, so I'm not going to give it to you right now. And I've done this 3 times where I wrote a letter to myself, and it gets mailed to me a year later, and it's an intention letter. So the last one I got, it was really interesting because everything in it pretty much came true, even down to exactly where I lived. Like the type of house, everything. Like I had put it out there what I was going to do. Well, this last one, I remember exactly what I was doing when I wrote it because it was in like this big coaching thing, and I was not in the right mindset. So I kind of halved it, but so only half of it really came true. The other half, I was just throwing stuff in there to get it done, and I'm like, all right. And so attitude, right? So I opened it up, and I totally had forgotten about it. And I opened it up, and I'm like, what? I don't even remember what I wrote. And I started reading it, and I looked at it, I was like, I'll be damned. And what I wrote in there at the time, I was with the other company, and I wrote in there that I was going to take my office to #1 in the region. And then I wrote in there that I was going to be top 25 in the entire company. And then I was like, wow. And imagine it's now. So and by the end of last year, I had taken it to #1. And I wasn't top 25. Had I stayed till now, probably would have been, but I was 30. right, for the growth and the size of it. And what was so funny, I was, though, top 25 and the amount of people that would go to this coaching program out of 800 offices, which meant I had top 25 culture, I had top 25, my agents were learning and growing professionally and coaching and all this stuff. So it was really cool. I don't know what number I ended up at because I came here to work, so I missed my award. So I texted one of the girls, I'm like, what would I have gotten? And so I would have gotten all these awards. So it was really cool, but I eventually will get to that where I'm going to have you guys do an attention letter, and you'll be amazed how powerful it really is and how these things come true. But we're not there yet because a couple things come before it. But with tracking your numbers, I'm gonna simplify things for you, and I'm coming up with something so I can really simplify things for you in a business sense. One of the things that we would do, and we're actually doing it with corporate and like all the other offices as far as recruiting and things, is I looked at my numbers every single day, twice a day. And I had a spreadsheet, and I looked at, so I knew what appointments I had every day, and I had quotas, right? And my recruits or whatever it was for that. Well, in real estate, same thing. How many I knew minimum, it had to be a certain per week, but it came out to 2 a day. And if I didn't have those 2 a day, I better have the 3 tomorrow or something. But it was tracked every single day, and it's the first thing you look at in the morning. Where are my numbers? What am I looking at? Where am I in my goal for the year? Because the more precise you are, the more you will hit that goal. You have to have a clear vision. The number one thing that we see, and when we get our hands on you one-on-one, we break you down, is getting that clear vision. So a lot of people are like, Mike, what's your goal? Well, I want to make this. I want to make, the vision isn't clear though. So we have to figure out like the why and why the vision's clear, and then we can break it down so you make the goal. Does that make sense? So get your wheels turning and really think about where your vision, and make it clear of what you want to do and what you want to achieve, because where a lot of people go wrong, they're like units and GCI. But the vision is that, what does that mean? Where's the units? Where are you getting them? You know, how? I want to know where, I want to know how, and I want to know why, right? And break it down for me. How many of those are buyers? How many of those are sellers? And they tell you this all the time, and companies are like, well, make your goals. How many units? How many volume? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And they just sort of like let you go, right? And how many times do people make their goals that way? Very, very rarely. Very rarely. It's something we must look at every day, and we must have a clear vision of it. Does that make sense? Okay, so start get your wheels turning of that clear vision so that we can break it down for you. But understand you need to know what it means. So I need 10 units. What does that mean? Right? Because that means nothing to me. Right? I need to know where, how, why. Break it down. Make sense? Does that like get you thinking? Like how your goals are not broken down? And I don't mean everyone, but
How do you know where to start? Go based on last Thanksgiving. Based on the numbers previous year, or how do you set that number?
You never have to go off your past. Your past is just a lesson. Every day you have your God-given right every day to have a new whole life and new whole goals, okay? So it's whatever so like let's say today you decide, well, by the end of this year I want to make this. What is that? So I want to make this amount of money. Okay, how do you get there? So you have to break it down. And how you break down, well, I'm going to sell in this area. Okay, what are those price points? How many listings is that going to take? How many buyers is that going to take? What's your turnover? So you really have to do the work, and that's where we fall off the wagon, right? We just have an idea, and we don't really have a reality. So it's funny. I love numbers because it's something I like to be able to measure things because I can prove it, right? The other thing that we need to track is our activities. We need to know what our ROI is and what's actually working in our conversion rates. So if we're not, so conversion rates is something I always tracked. And we got to find out what we're doing is actually working. Because if it's not working, we need to either do it differently or we need to do something else. Does that make sense? Got to track the activities. When we find out, gosh, I don't know why I don't have any business, Robin. I'm like, what activities have you been doing? It's like, oh, maybe that's why, right? So how many open houses did you do? How many, like, so if you really break it down in how many buyers, okay, how do you get buyers? Let's break down those activities. Well, I want to do listings. How do we get listings? This is how we get listings. What's our conversion rate on that? Does that make sense? How many appointments must we go on to do that? Right? Any questions on that? Right, I know. That's totally fine.
So before you go on, since what you said just brought up something, yesterday I did a coaching call with Leanne, And she just started Bold and got her letter from a year ago.
Yeah, did you get yours?
I did not. I haven't seen it yet. So.
Okay.
So, and she said, I can't believe it. I didn't want to go to Bold last year. Robin sort of pushed me to go. She said, I wrote the letter, and she said, I opened it up, and I accomplished every single thing that I put down. And she was just amazed that what she'd done, and she said, I'm going to write my next one, and I was going to put the same thing. I said, why would you settle for such a little bit?
Mm-hmm. You already
And
did
so
it.
it's finding your own vision and why that's important to you. So when Robin says the why is the important, that's so much more important than the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's why do you want to accomplish it?
Right. And knowing that why, too, you have to actually have a plan for it. Because I have some people always like, well, I want to be able to take care of my parents. And I was like, great, you don't get to pick when. So if that is really your why and your goal, you need to start planning now. You need to start saving now, because you never get to pick when someone gets sick, right? I mean, my dad, 20 years. I didn't get to pick that date. Never did I imagine at 25 we would start that battle, right? So it's you have to realize whatever your goal is, if you have a precise why, you need to start now. You need to start now for that and have a plan. Everything needs a plan. So, so cool. Thank you. But yeah, I'm pushy. Sometimes I can be like, you'll see me like a little chihuahua, like, no, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Like, So, she ended up, but you know, they thank me later when they cash their checks. You will too. Let me see here. Okay, so awesome job. Who wants to say to Allie? This is your slide. I'm going to let you say something.
I just want to say thank you all for working so hard for me not to get any more false alarm alerts.
It's a thing. It's
this past weekend I did not get a single one, so woohoo! Thank you.
We get the strangest calls on the weekends. Like, I'll get it like 2 hours later, and I'll text her. I'm like, we good? I don't know. Are the police there? What are we doing? So congratulations on that. So coming soon, we are going to do, I don't know which one of the month it is, but it will be coming. We're going to pick which date of the month it's going to be. We're going to be doing awards every month of the previous month. So this will also motivate you, help you keep going, and track you of who got the most listings last month, highest closing, biggest sale, highest volume for the month, things like that. But we're going to do some fun things too. So if you have anything that we're going to do agent of the month, and we're also going to do some fun things where if you want to give me some ideas, that'd be great. But we've done things in the past like who did the most likes on Robin's Facebook page, like silly stuff, and have things for you because that keeps you motivated. So I just want to let you know that's going to be happening. Let's see here. Tax reminder. The 15th, this isn't the property tax, but the 15th, another reason for you guys to call your clients, and also another reason for you to understand that you pay your taxes on April 15th or you file an extension, okay? Okay, cool. So some people also want to throw up about that time. So importance of keeping a conversation log. Do you want me to talk about that? Okay, so this is something that we deal with, and we're supposed to keep conversations log, and I just want to let you know, thank God I kept one. I had a lady try to sue me, no joke. She had 2 years to see a property and could never get her she canceled all the time, whatever, and then she tried to say, and we could not get her to write an offer or anything, and she tried to say she didn't get the opportunity to buy the property. And thank God I had every text, every email, every crazy thing, and 4 agents attempting to get her into that property. And she just was, I don't know if she was a scam artist and then want to try to sue you or whatever. Doesn't matter. The fact is that I had all those conversations. And she conveniently left half of them out, right? And so I had them like, we're trying to get a hold of you, all these things, you have to do this offer. And so it was really good. And other agents also saying, this person's a piece of work. They canceled again. She didn't show up. I have a text. I'm like, you have to go. They waited an hour for you. And so I just want to let you know it's so important. These things come up years later. And it was like random. I don't know if she's a scam artist or just loopy or crazy. I don't know, but it does come up much later in time. So make sure you keep it in folders. Have them in your folder for everything. It's so, so important. And thank God I always did that. Mm-hmm. And thank God for iCloud.
This
Sometimes
is just,
bad for movie stars, the iCloud, for their photos, their naked photos that end up online, but really good for real estate agents that need it. So,
so this is to everybody. How do you capture your text? Because I know I take pictures, but it's really tedious to do that. And there used to be a way with iPhones that you could download all the texts.
So they
but it's
should
no
be all on
longer
your
available.
iCloud. You back up your iCloud, and you can put them in folders. I do also screenshot them and send them into a folder.
Okay. I mean, I do that with SkySlope, but it's tedious. If you have somebody that texts a lot, it can be
You can
30,
take
40,
time now. So
50.
it's kind of like health. You take time for your health now, or you're forced to take time for illness later. So you take time to do it now, or you're forced to take the time for the lawsuit later.
Right.
And the cost is always the worst on the other end.
I just
Does that
wonder
make
if there's
sense?
something easier. That's all.
Something easier. If you, Alex looks like he has an easier thing.
Not in iPhone.
Grab all like the page. You can
There's
grab
an
the
app?
whole page. Like if you look at it, you should be able. There's an app. I don't know what it is, but it'll grab all your text because you can do that and scrape people's Facebook profiles too. So as soon as you go on it, it'll just grab everything. So it's like screen grabber.
Do you know what the app? You don't know the app.
No, I forget what it's called, but
Dieter knows.
I just finished 2 days of training at OCAR. It was called Tech Expert Training, and it was from a guy named Craig Grant, and he does this on a regular basis. And one of the key questions that was asked is, how do we get our text out of our iPhone or our Android? And he had a couple of apps, and I've got it in my notes, so I'll give it to Allie, and then she will tell you what that app is. It makes it very easy to download those to get those texts out of your phone, and it timestamps them. In the past, they weren't timestamped, so the benefit of it was marginal. But with the timestamp, that does help. And so I'll share with Allie that information.
And I highly recommend that you do as least amount of text as absolute possible. Train your clients to do email and follow up every phone call with an email, just to recap our phone conversation. Because without that is a he said, she said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. If you don't have their name saved, you can search the phone number and it should show up. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Yep. You always want to send the actual MLS with the offer as well. So you can let them know we are putting this, we are offering based on this is going with my offer. So there's an intent there. It was a good way to go about it. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what I told him to do, I go send the MLS printout, and because they try to change it after, and I send it to escrow, have her copy what he wrote in there into the escrow instructions, and have the escrow instructions go out that way, and then the seller will be signing off on them. Yeah, so a good way to get in there. Yeah, instead of going back to the agent. Yeah, and you're waiting, and you're letting the agent know you know, and there will not be a further discussion on this without having to talk to the agent. Yeah. And again, lawsuits. Lawsuits come literally like four years later. And if someone ever does a complaint to you at the BRE, you're going to get it 4 years later. That's when they finally get to it. Yeah, so cool. Statute of limitations.
Yeah, like how many years is that?
It's usually 4. Some things are 2, and a lot of things are 4. Builders are 10. 7. 7 years. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you meet like face to face, just draft something where it says what you talked about, what you guys agreed, and
That's
everything.
why it's always better to do an email recap. Just wanted to recap our conversation from our meeting today. Boom, boom. Don't drama it, storyboard it. Just bullet point it. Boom, 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 boom. When you storyboard it, when there's a lot of words that go with the bullet points, that's when you end up in perception and speculation and lawsuits. And well, the intent could have been this because that's how they read it. So you just need a bullet point. Okay. Okay, last one, the gratitude challenge, which is Greg. He was just going through that, and this is your last slide, how to deliver gratitude. And thank you guys. You guys have been awesome.
Your challenge this week is to make sure that you're expressing gratitude every day to at least one person. And for the week, I really want you to use this 3-step process. Tell people specifically what they did. So don't say, oh, I really appreciate your help. What specifically did they do? So Adam did a great job of illustrating that specifically. Then tell them how it made you feel, so that they can understand they really did have an impact on you. And then what need of yours was met. The reality is that we are all human, we all share the same needs, and we only have a few core needs. And if we let people understand how we met their needs, the depth of relationship building, the depth of connection you have will go up dramatically. Especially if you can do this with your clients. You will find it will take your relationship with your clients to a whole new level. And then I want you to post it on either the Facebook page for Newport Beach or Robin's Facebook page, what experience you got from doing that. So the more consistently you can do that, and for those of you that are doing accountability partners, next week, part of your accountability is to holding people accountable to doing a gratitude every single day and using this 3-step process. So you're going to ask, how did it go? Did you use the process? Did you get all the way through? And I know it's going to feel uncomfortable and unnatural for the first few days. And I want you to commit to doing it. So how many are at least willing to commit to sharing a gratitude every day for the next 7 days?
Just do it.
Just doing it.
Anything, yeah, okay.
All right, so that's step 1. How many are also willing to share their experience on either Robin's Facebook page or the Newport Beach First Team Facebook page?
Awesome. She's like, I'm good. She's like, oh my God. I wanted to actually say something too about accountability partners, because I'm not sure if I shared this or not before, but I used to always have one. I would get different accountability partners out of state, just different agents. And just to let you know what we used to hold each other accountable to, we had intentions for the week. We would talk once a week, kind of like a coaching. And I'm like, okay, we would have business, personal, and I think I went over this with some people, but okay, what are you going to do? And it would be things like, well, in business, I'm going to get 1 price reduction. For like you ever have that one list and you're like, I'm going to get this done this week, right? So I was like, I want to get the price reduction on this listing, and I'm going to get 1 more listing and 1 more escrow and a buyer contract. What are you going to do personally? I'm going to do 3 yoga classes, 2 Pilates classes. I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water a day. I'm going to track it, like those kind of things. And then the next week we talk about how we did and what got in our way if we did not get it done. Sometimes we would check in every morning. But that's what accountability really is. And when you're accountable to someone and doing that, you're actually more likely to do it. But you get really specific. And it wasn't weird that, oh yeah, I'm going to get 2 appointments this week. It wasn't a weird thing. It was just like when you're working with a person that really is doing that as well. So I would find people in other coaching programs Like he was with Mike Ferry, I was with Tom Ferry, so we kind of got to get both. So things like that, I would recommend doing.
So just to wrap up our meeting, I want to share a gratitude. And the gratitude I want to share was with Mila. And hopefully she's listening up there somewhere. So yesterday I went to Mila and said, Mila, I need help getting a commission adjusted. How do I do that? And she said, well, this is the process. And then she said, well, let me help you and I'll do it for you. And Mila, I greatly appreciate you going above and beyond, actually taking care of that process. And let me tell you, it made me feel so grateful. It made me feel happy and also thinking, oh, a problem has been taken care of, which made me feel very good. And it really met my needs for being supported and feeling part of a community that cared about each other. So I want to thank you very much, and I greatly appreciate you. All right, so stop, listen to this meeting, go to work.
Yeah, go to work, go to work.